Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all general persons of humankind. We are here. That did not turn out the way I planned it in my head. It sounded so dignified in my head, and just we were talking about peppers, and I'm full of food. Anyway, another ramble to start the show. 3 for 3. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. My name is not important, but I'm here, and I am here with two of my good friends who are up in the Great White North. Why did I point up? That's up in the sky. Y'all know what I meant. They're up in that direction on the map, and I'm just going to go right down here to, first of all, Miss Diversity herself, the hardest keyboard typer I have ever heard in my life, Miss Delilah Crespo. How you doing this evening, Delilah?
I'm doing great. I'm glad that I was able to join you guys tonight because I wasn't sure. I was like, yes, I'm going to make it. So I'm glad I was able to hop on.
Thank you, Delilah. Thank you. And to my that away. I keep forgetting. Right there. You can't miss her. She loves all things spicy, especially blackened dishes. And she has an orange cat. So that makes it even more spicy. Miss, I think I killed her. Just don't offer her mail. Miss Tina Winter, how are you doing tonight, Tina? I think that's gibberish for I'm doing okay. Let's move on to the next segment. Oh man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are glad that you could join us. You okay? You need a break? You need to tap out? We do. Wow. I'm just gonna. Hey, listen. Y'all know how the football game starts. It starts with a coin toss, and that is where we are going. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, another amazing weekend of football. But before we get into the X's and the O's, there were more changes as if there weren't enough already on the coaching carousel. Most notably, a very distinguished and a very distinguished football player who came out of retirement, unretired, and had four very impressive outings, was offered an opportunity to take a head coaching slot and decided to back out with the Buffalo Bills. Philip Rivers, despite not having any head coaching experience at the collegiate or professional level, was offered the head coaching job with the Buffalo Bills. Tina, you got yourself, you there with us now? Are you gonna? Okay, I'm gonna start with you then. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I can't say my thoughts will get banned because the jokes write themselves.
Oh, you mean the one that everybody else has been saying?
Yeah. I don't even know why he was in the head coaching thing. I mean, he does have some experience at the high school level. He has been coaching there, but to do it at the to go from that to a head coach in the NFL, I just I don't know why, but I think there's some teams in the league right now that are trying anything and everything to get something going, to get something new. So
yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a jump. I have seen instances where guys that had college football experience or maybe some graduate coaching experience that got into college from high school, but I don't recall seeing any. I mean, even Dion went from high school to college. Hasn't had any pro offers yet, but he went from high school to college. So yeah, just a little bit of a strange thing there, just to see that they were offering him that. I think it was just more. I don't. You know what? To be honest, I don't know what the Bills were doing. Delilah, I'm going to come to you. What are your thoughts on this whole? Let's give Philip Rivers a job at the pro level with no. Not a knock on Philip Rivers. He might be a heck of a coach, but what say you?
I think at least he came to his senses, right? He took the interview, but then I think he was like, no. Like I feel like he probably went home to his wife and was like, "Hey," and then she was like, "Yeah, you've never done that before." Like, and the Bills Mafia, that whole like scene, it's really like they've got a whole cult following. You know what I mean? And you don't have this experience, and everybody's gonna hate you. You know what I mean? It's like, and so because I understand him taking the interview, right? I would too, just to hear, you know. Um, but I think he himself was like, no, this is bad, right? Because you do have to start somewhere. And so he's no one's knocking his playing, but that's different than actually stepping into coach. You know what I mean? And so good on him for walking away from that offer, because I saw that they promoted their OC. That was probably a better thing. They probably should have done that from the beginning.
I don't.
From
I've
the
got
Bills, because if you've been working, you know what I mean. If you're learning
right.
from the previous coach, right? You've been there for years. You know the system. You know the players. The players trust you. I
Yeah.
mean, it sounds like that was gonna be the decision anyway. It's just weird.
And that could have been why Philip Rivers,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say it, pulled his name out of competition
Yeah. He's
for
like,
the
no.
job, because he sat there and he figured it out. Like, look, it's probably, this is not something, I was brought here just as kind
Right.
of on shits and gigs.
Right.
And that's
Exactly.
it.
I'm sorry. I tried to hold it. Go ahead.
I was trying to stay so far away from that pun.
Oh God.
But yeah, either that or you know what? Maybe he thinks that he might be able to.
Pull it out.
Well, yeah, but I was more going towards there might be some teams out there that might say, "Hey, do you want to come and play for us again?"
That's true.
Or maybe his wife just flat out said, "Hey, look, I've been at home with all these kids, and we still
She's
got
not gonna say.
He's got his insurance back.
great."
It's based on what the things that I've heard and read.
Yeah.
He comes from a very traditional household, and his wife is a stay-at-home mom. I don't think she would say that. So,
Hey, look, even even Mrs. Ingles every now and again had to give Mr. Ingles a little what for on Little House on the Prairie. So I'm just saying, she
That's
give him
true.
that Charles and give him that look, and then put that hair behind her ear because she, God forbid, her hair be out of place.
Right.
Charles comes off very different than Philip. Like,
And no, Charles
doesn't
Ingalls
work right.
call him by his full government issue, Charles Ingalls. Anyway, wow. We're gonna
Kinda
try
like
and get
one time this week, I looked at Chewy and I went, "Chewbacca Winter."
you. What? Huh? And then he proceeded
That
to
was
look at you and
such
do that and do
a
that and
cheeky
go
little
nah, nah, nah,
thing.
nah, nah.
It's like they literally took a human and stuck a cat over it because, like, the arms are all off.
Hey, look, it works. It works.
It was fun.
Shout out to our show mascot Chewy. Is Chewy floating around there anywhere? Is he like just
Nope. He's
uh,
by the he's by the space heater.
yeah.
He's not stupid.
Yeah, he's like, nope, I'm not. No, that creeped me out when I saw it. That was just a little bit, had me wondering if I had gotten into the neighbor's gummies or something. All righty, continuing it moving forward. The Jim Swartz saga in Cleveland. For those that are uninformed, Tina, why don't you break down the specifics of this scenario with Jim Sports in Cleveland.
Okay, so it looked like the OC from Jacksonville, Grant Evaland or whatever his last name is. He had an agreement with Jacksonville that he could interview for a few places, but if he didn't get those, he could come back as the OC again. No problem. Well, he interviewed with Cleveland, and essentially he also pulled his name from the hat for competition for the head coaching position because the lovely owner of the Browns is making it a condition for employment as the head coach is that you have to take Jim Schwartz as your DC. You are not allowed to bring in your own defensive coordinator.
Huh.
So essentially, it's kind of like, and Jim Schwartz did also interview for the job with the Browns. So it's kind of like, well, we're not saying you can't get it, Jim, but we're going to talk to these other people too. It's such a Browns thing. Lord, they're so dysfunctional.
They really are.
What head coach is going to come in and say, okay, I'll
Right.
take your DC?
Not very many.
No.
I mean,
not only that,
at best. No, go ahead.
I was maybe if they're younger, but if you also think about it, the DC has all those coaches underneath him. So is it just Jim Schwartz or is it everybody underneath him too? Or is Jim Schwartz going to have to take the
Right.
linebacker
And
coach
what
and
I was going
everybody
to say
else?
behind that was
It's creating dysfunction. Like he's literally
yeah,
creating more dysfunction in that place. Just give Jim Schwartz the job.
right. And
'Cause
that
we
was
just
where Tina and I had the conversation that it's like we're not gonna not interview him, but we're not really gonna give him the job either. So it's like, I mean, if you're making it a stipulation to everybody else that is interviewing is, hey, if we decide to pick you, you can have the job, but you got to take this guy. It's almost like mom saying you got to take your little brother along. You know what I mean? Like there's no way
I don't
around it.
get that though.
No,
Like
it's like mom saying you got to take your
I
little
don't,
stepsister along
I
because
don't
they're
even
not even
understand
related. It's
because
like
they were not a top defense that went to Seattle, Denver, Patriots. So you know what I mean? Like
yeah, well,
it's
but the better part of their team was their defense. So Jim Schwartz
well,
was doing
Miles
something right.
Garrett.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
So one player actually did his job. He broke his record. That's not the whole.
Well, in that division, it's not real hard to have the one player be
One
affecting
guy.
games
Oh, I bet you Miles Garrett regrets going to Cleveland now.
or staying. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just
Because he's locked
crazy.
down. I don't think he can go anywhere.
And um, Sean just mentioned it too. I was going to say it too, but we got off track. They also do have legit corners there. I do think Cleveland's defense is decent, so I can see why they'd want to keep the defensive going because that's something they can build on. But this is not how you do it. This
No,
is
I
just
think
not how.
Cleveland's
If
messy.
you want a
They're
good,
messy.
then why? And here's the whole thing: like if Jim Schwartz is who you're going to end up doing, why didn't you fire Stefanski halfway through so he could be the interim head coach? That would have made more sense than what they did. But like I always say, the Chargers are going to charge. The Browns are the
Yeah.
Browns. They're going to shoot themselves in the foot somehow. I mean, it's just
That they are. That they have
And it,
done for.
and the owner is crazy. Like he's got his own issues going on there too. So like
yeah.
if
Yeah.
anybody
I mean,
wants to
it's
know
What
about him,
what
just put in Flying J scandal. Am I saying I don't
yes.
even think I'm saying it right. But you put that in, you can find out exactly what it is. So
yeah.
like it's
There's got to be something about that become billionaires, and a good part of them, or at least the ones that like the spotlight. That was weird. You all blinked. I hope you guys can still see us on the stream. For some reason, a portion of them just publicly burn out, have some sort of issue. For whatever reason, you've got Robert Kraft with his proclivities. You've got Jerry Jones telling the whole world that he wants some glory hole. You got this guy like Dan Snyder and the whole. I know that brought back some PTSD for Sean. My apologies for mentioning his name. I won't say it two more times in the mirror. That way he won't come back.
No.
But there's got to
Yeah.
be something to be said for these guys that are billionaire owners of these sports franchises. It's just something that just I don't know if it's the money or the sense of
They're
invincibility
bored.
because of the money.
They're bored. Yeah, they're bored. They're like, oh, let's just mess with some
I
stuff.
could I
Like,
could think of a I can think of a
28
billion other things to do. I pay somebody a lot of money. I pay somebody a lot of money to handle that situation, so I don't have to touch that.
that's
You've
what I
got
mean.
guys
Like,
who have
And
made a
most
lot of money, and
billionaires
they
have.
make a lot of money because based on their personality, and they're able to do their sales, and they're able to get everybody coming in and everything. And they're like, oh, well, I'll buy a team. And then they don't do what smart people do, which is you
no.
let the football people run the show and you sit back in the background and collect your check. But
Yeah,
he's not that
basically.
way. He's getting involved, and he's the owner of the team and he writes the checks. So,
Exactly.
I mean,
And everybody is saying it's basically going to be him because no one wants that job now. Like, nobody wants the head coaching position
all
in
the
Cleveland.
good,
They're like,
legitimate
no
head
thanks.
coaches that could take this team, which I consider to be kind of middle of the pack,
They are middle.
because
Yeah.
they're in the middle. They're not bad, but they're not
No.
moving to the good side either. Um, to turn them into something, because Kevin Stefanski was starting getting it that way, that he just couldn't get it all the way. And
Yeah.
now it's going to be crazy. It's going to be, which I think Denver's trying to do maneuvers so that we'll keep Davis Webb. It would be like you get a quarterback, so you take a chance on a
Yeah.
quarterback's coach, or you take a chance on a defensive or offensive assistant coach, because you don't want to pay that kind.
Somebody,
Well, let's put it with, because you can't
anybody.
afford to pay the kind of money
Right.
you need to
Listen,
pay
the
in
our
order to
our
bring Pace.
OC for the Bears is staying.
Yeah.
So, and so I get it. I was like, sometimes when you look kind of at the other pastors, you're like,
Are they really like, I
Listen,
mean, it used to be like
listen.
the Raiders would be the premier place to go. Like after Madden, that would be the
Not
place to
anymore.
go. Gruden, not anymore. They've shot themselves in the foot so badly that
yeah.
they cannot get, like,
Like Cheddar Bob,
yeah, like
badly
it's,
like Cheddar Bob.
you're gonna have to pay a shitload of money to bring somebody in at the right level, or you're gonna have to take a chance at somebody young. And then my answer to that is then you have to give them the time. It's like a quarterback.
Yep.
But I mean, we were
You got to let them
hearing
do their
that
thing.
Vance Joseph was in line for the Raiders, but now because they know that they're going to get Mendoza, they want to go more offensive minded.
Which that
So
makes sense. I would do the same
I
thing.
think yeah, and I think that's what's going on with some of the teams that don't have anybody yet. They're looking at who they might be drafting to see, like, what
Yeah,
kind of rookies are we going to need
I
to
agree
be
with
able
that.
to develop. So, I mean, that stuff plays into
Yep.
it too.
Yep. Let me jump in here. Let me double dutch in here for just a second. Mr. Sean Spencer, this goes out to you, sir. Listen, I said I gave you the preface before I even said this. You will make the Shannon Sharp come out. I see that I shaved mine down to goatee, and now Shay want to grow his whole thing out full out. Listen, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I said I did not want to bring up no traumatic memories, because we all know Dan Snyder was a bad owner. Then he want to throw 28-3 out here like that. Some kind of insult. Atlanta been sucking. Atlanta been sucking ever since then. I know that. I don't know why I'm trying to go between a cross between
That sounded like Rodney.
Shay and Bernie Mac. The only reason we Rodney, Rodney Dangerfield, I can't tell you. Get no. The only is because the entire NFC South sucked sucked infected cow teat badly this season. They were playing hot potato with nobody wanted to win the division. So yeah, they tied. They tied. Whatever. Anyway, I'm done with that.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, to answer your question, Shador Sanders did make the Pro Bowl. He did. Uh, good on Shador. I don't know. I'm not even going to touch that. We'll get into that later. As a matter of fact, we are at the 20-minute mark. To those
But
of you
the
that just
Iceman
joined
didn't
us,
make the
thank
Pro
you very
Bowl.
much.
That's kind of crummy. My guy over here in Chicago didn't make Pro Bowl selection, even though he came in
I,
third and voted. Just
I,
saying.
He might have
I
turned it
don't, I
down
don't, I don't, I don't know.
because that's the
Everybody's saying he
reason
was.
why now they're
I don't know
adding
who said
Everyone's
it.
people
saying
to
he
the
was.
Pro Bowl
They're
is
saying he
because
was snubbed.
one, anyone who's going to be in the Super Bowl, they pull out of the Pro Bowl anyways. And then you
Oh
have
yeah,
other
for
Oh
people that
wow,
sure.
pull out for different reasons. So the Pro
that's
Bowl
for
isn't
those of
what
you
it used to be.
keeping track.
No.
For those of you keeping track, ladies and gentlemen, that is 3 pull-out references in 10 minutes since we told this story about Philip Rivers. Thank you very much. And having said that, this is a perfect place for us to go into a break. Don't go far. We'll be right back. Good God.
Hey everyone, it's Tina, and welcome to the Mile High Minute.
Probably the best part of it. Well, man, on the field. Oh, I thought it was the ugly. The bad.
You're the bad.
Oh, okay. Kicking game.
Ugly.
I'm talking about the ugly. And you know what's ugly? I'll tell you what's ugly. Is the calls for Vance Joseph being fired. John Payne put together a solid game plan. 2 weeks in a row. This is a win. But overall, I can't complain too much. We just need to beat the Bills. This defense performed at an exceptional level against Oregon.
This was our third win in a row. Very happy. I'm just concerned about
Yeah.
And we are
Like
back, ladies and gentlemen. We caught Tina in the middle of her dance routine.
Zen
I'm
moment
not mad at it.
with, with the anthem for Mile High
I had
Minute. Like
I had my
it
little glow
is,
sticks over here. I
it's
was
kind of
getting my
dancey. And
yeah, it is. It's got a little dance revolution feel to it. I just knew when it was coming back. We caught Tina just anyway. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen,
we
to
do that
Let's
on
Talk
Mile High
Football
Minute when it
Roundtable.
comes done. We're all sitting there dancing when it comes on. So it's
I never
it's
can
knee
catch it
jerk
when you guys
reaction.
come on. I always get the notification, and by the time I get over there, you're already past the intros and stuff like that. By the time I click in, because my phone is slow, because I got a cheap one. Anyway, we're keeping this thing moving on along. I am hashtag the number 2 Chewy fan, number 1 Chewy fan, being right there to my immediate right there on the screen. We have Miss Tina Winter, Miss Delilah Crespo here with us. We just got done talking about the craziness that is going on with the post playoffs part of the NFL season. My brain, y'all forgive me. I have been my mind. I'm legit. This is a legit thing. I think when I had to go see a doctor, sometimes my brain just shuts down mid sentence and I have to reboot. It's like I'm still running on MS DOS. Um, we were just talking about that part of the postseason, and now we're going to get into. Speaking of, last week we had a couple of games. They were a lot of fun to watch, depending on what team you were a fan of. Up till the final part of the game, we're going to go ahead and start with the AFC Championship, in which the Patriots took on the Broncos in Denver. The Broncos fell just a wee bit short. Final score 10-7. I'm going to go to Delilah first. Delilah, what you got for us on this one here?
It went like I predicted. I said it was gonna be all defense. I didn't think that just because it was a backup quarterback that it was gonna be automatically like Patriots beating up on Denver, because I know Denver's defense, right? And so I never I never saw it. I said it would be a close game. I thought it would be a little higher, but I knew it was going to go into the 30s. I'm like, there's no way. Both defenses they both all season have been firing off cylinders. So I was like, there was just no way that it was going to be a high scoring game. I didn't think it was going to end up 10-7, I'll be honest, but I still didn't see it being a high scoring game. So it was all very defensive. Um, and so that's the reason, like, I did say they would win by a field goal. So I was like, because
You did.
I knew it was gonna be a blowout. So I was like, no, Patriots by a field goal, and that's exactly what happened. So I was like, so I'm just glad that it went the way I thought. And so when we talk about the Super Bowl after watching this, I think I know who my winner is gonna be of the Super Bowl.
I think everybody knows who the winner is going to be.
Anyway,
I think it's going to be
Well,
the least watched Super Bowl in a long time.
well, one of the biggest things for me is like these two teams, these teams on both sides
yeah.
were absolutely phenomenal all season long, and then between the two quarterbacks to only generate 219 yards passing total. Drake May had 86 yards passing. That was it. And Jared Stidham had a steady, as it were. I'm trying to acclimate myself with
Yes.
that.
Steady.
133 yards passing, one touchdown, one interception. No touchdowns for Drake May. Not exactly sure what that was all about, but the strength of their strength was definitely behind their run game. Ramondre Stevenson had an absolutely amazing game. This now, mind you, maybe I shouldn't have watched this game because I've only seen two Patriots games all season. This game and two games prior, which I would assume were they a wild. I can't remember if they were a wild card or not. But yeah, the two
They
games.
played in the wild card. They did play the wild card weekend. They were not the
Yeah,
wild card.
because Denver had first seed, so
Right.
Patriots had to play in the wild card.
Yeah, so in both games I
They played
watched,
the
Ramondre
Chargers.
showed out. Ramondre just definitely showed out. He grounded out, especially against the Chargers. He had an insane fourth quarter. Just hand the ball to Ramondre and have him eat up the clock in 5 to 7 yard chunks.
Because
So
what was going on in the fourth quarter?
snow.
Yeah, it was pretty much a whiteout. Like there's nothing, you couldn't throw to anyone. You tried to throw and you couldn't see anything. So it turned into a run game. So I mean, yeah. Okay.
We're trying not to.
Oh, you're not going to trigger me.
I didn't say trigger. Trigger is not a word I would use. I think I know what some of your triggers are, but we're not trying to.
No, I don't.
Oh no!
I think I'm with Tina. I just don't think there was. You can't say too much more about the game. I mean, it ended up 10-7, and
it ended up being score at the half because at that point the blizzard had come.
Yeah.
And at that point, nobody could really do anything anymore.
Yeah.
It didn't matter that Stiddy was a backup quarterback anymore because you literally couldn't move. And that was the thing. Like they talked about it during the game, like in the third
incessantly.
But I think it was a point that needed to be brought up was the wind was so bad against Denver, they couldn't do anything but run. And the Patriots, the wind was going their way. So then when the fourth quarter came up, they're like, okay, well, it'll switch. Well, then things died down. It was one of those games that it just happens that I said it, like if the snowstorm hadn't come in, I think we had a shot at that game. It was when the snowstorm came in that literally everything stopped at what it was at. You couldn't do anything. No one was going to score any more points. And it literally turned into a defensive slogfest.
And they definitely beat.
Both teams did very well with their defenses. So, yeah. And I'll save the rest of my points for when we talk about the Super Bowl because I think those
I love you to
are
pieces.
going to be pertinent in that game. So,
yeah, you pretty much hit it on the head.
Hurt to lose the game, especially a 10-7 AFC game like that. And yeah, Sean, that's another time we've lost 10-7 and we lost to the Bills. So yeah, it's the NFC, it's the AFC East team again. But I was very I'm very proud of this team. Actually, no, I was not frustrated. I as soon as Nix was out, I was at 50-50. Once that snowstorm came in with Stiddy, they're going to get this game. I just knew it. I was prepared. I was prepared for the second half. So
Yeah.
there was no real frustration. I mean, there's a few things that I have questions about, but it's not worth it. I'm not part of the Bills Mafia. I'm not going to sit here incessantly for 3 weeks talking about an interception that was a catch and just blaming everybody except for what it really was. Is we lost our starting quarterback and we didn't get the points that we needed to get in the first half. So there we go. Oh, John. I I really wanted us to do this because I want to shut up all the haters, which the haters are already back out. Now we're down in the middle of the pack, according to Las Vegas, for the Super Bowl odds next year at like 25th position. It's like, seriously, guys, come on. But you know what? We did what we did. So
Yeah, so unfortunately, and now for me, the saddest part about this is I never thought after watching Atlanta lose to the Broncos all those many moons ago in the Super Bowl that I would be excited about watching the Broncos have a chance to vie for the Super Bowl until I met a very fanatic Bronco fan who turned me on to the incomplete chant of all the things, the incomplete chant. I'm a sucker for like game day traditions. I'm a dog fan. You know, college football fans got all kinds of stupid game day traditions. It got to a point where I was watching the game every time, and I would have my ear, like my hand behind my ear, like, and the person says this, and complete. And then of course I had to pay my penance. Was it last year for the Falcons losing the game?
yeah. With the bet.
With the bet and wearing the visor and doing the Sean Payton impersonation. And yes, the whole nine. So, and I found myself for the first time in life ever rooting for the Broncos. And it just made me sad. And then I have my Roundtable family. I was rooting for the Bears and the Broncos because my team was out after week 2. So that's where that is. But yes, congratulations to the Patriots and Patriots fans who are coming out of hiding for the first time since Tom Brady retired and unretired and went to Tampa Bay. And then they became Tampa Bay fans for a little bit. Anyway, having said that, we're going to keep on moving to this next game here. The NFC.
You mean how all of a sudden when LeBron and they went down to Miami, all of a sudden all these Miami fans came out of the woodwork?
Right.
I was like,
I've been a fan of Miami since 1952.
Oh my God. I was so aggravating. I'm like, just be honest. Why you're a Miami Heat fan?
Oh, Sean Spencer, what have I done to you, sir? Why are you coming for me and my squad, man? Plus that the dogs don't drive fast on game day. They drive fast any other day other than Saturday. That's when they get picked up by the police. I just had to throw that out there.
I don't know.
Okay. All righty then. Well, we're going to keep this thing moving on forward. The Rams took on the Seahawks. And when I tell you, good God, fireworks, both quarterbacks.
This was a fun game. That was a good game.
Both quarterbacks came with all barrels loaded. All barrels loaded. Stafford and Darnold combined for I'm squinting because I don't have my glasses on. Looks like over 700 yards passing and 6 touchdowns. And that was not even the story of the game. The story of the game, Jackson Smith and Jigba. That dude is a very bad man. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Yeah. Oh wow. Listen to me sounding like Cam Newton trying to say eclectic and saying eclectic. I'm starting to call the man Jackson Smith Enigma. You have to say his last name very slowly. Jackson Smith and Jigba for more than one reason, which we won't touch. That's for another time on a different show. However, that dude is a bad dude. He wound up with 153 yards on 10 receptions, only had one touchdown, but he got it when it counted. And every time the
Exactly.
Seahawks needed a big play, they needed chunk yardage. He was the man, he was the go-to man. It was either him or Kenny Walker, who ironically wound up wearing a similar color scheme to when he was in college. But I'm rambling and I'm giving away all the good stuff. Delilah, coming to you, how did you feel about this one? You did start out by saying that it was a really fun game. Please
It was.
expound.
No, it was fun because I think first, again, there's a lot of Matthew Stafford hate, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. He's been balling out forever, even when he was in Detroit and they used to lose all the time. You know, a Megatron and all them. He got hated even then. And I was like, he's in a division with Green Bay, who always beat up on all of us, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's just how it was. And then, you know, he won his Super Bowl, and that wasn't enough. And then Sam Darnold, man, right? Everybody always clowned that guy. And he came out of, I saw that he came out of the draft pool that Mayfield was in and a few other, and Josh Allen. And he's in the Super Bowl.
He's the first one out of
He's the
that.
first one out of that draft class.
That
How
ended up
crazy
in the
is that?
Super Bowl.
How
So,
crazy is
you
that?
know-
All that talent in that
Yeah.
draft class, and the first one to get there,
They
Sam
made
Darnold.
so much fun of this guy. I was just like, I never understood the Sam Darnold hate either. I don't get it, because I was like, that man balled out when it counted. I know he makes mistakes, but so do all the other quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's such a weird thing to watch. You know what I mean? And so it was just fun to see him win and go up there out of that draft class. He's in the Super Bowl. So it's like, you know, and so I think he should be proud of himself. I also like that Cooper Kupp, who played with the Rams and got a Super Bowl with them, got a touchdown on this game and had a good game too, you know? Because I've always liked Cooper Kupp. He had a weird system like in his barn. Like I remember a few years ago when he came into the league, he had a whole setup. And I was like, you know what? He had a whole Ninja Warrior thing going in his barn where he
I forgot about that.
his workouts. And ever since then, I was like, you know what? I like you. I was like,
He was one of my big fantasy receivers for
yeah,
years.
it was like
Because
crazy.
like it just didn't make sense. And I'm sure
Yeah.
he's like, how you feel about trading me now, guys? Let me
Right.
go.
But no,
Right.
it was fun. It really was a fun game. I like I said, I like seeing both of those guys ball out. It was just kind of fun to see, and they were in it to the last minute. You know what I'm saying? It went down
Well,
to
they
the
were
wire.
in the beginning. The first half of the game.
Yeah,
was,
but then all of a sudden it was just turned around, and I was like, all right.
Yep.
Now we got a game, and then it went toe. You know, I always like when that happens, when touchdown after you know what I mean. It's just, touchdown. You know, and it just became a really good game, and each quarterback had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah.
Yep.
No interceptions. Only one sack.
Isn't that kind of rare? You see almost 700 yards, and wow. 700 yards and 6 touchdowns worth of passing offense with no interceptions. I mean, because that's a lot of attempts. They had 71 passing attempts between the two of them.
Yeah.
I mean, on Sam Darnold's side, it's kind of hard to throw an interception when you got JSN out there. Thank you, Ben, for throwing that out there. I picked up on that. And on the Rams side, Tina, your boy Puka had a.
I agree, Sean.
Puka
That's
was
exactly
a one-man wrecking crew on the receiving end. I mean, he doubled up on the next closest receiver from the Rams, who was Devontae Adams with 89, and Puka Nacua had 165 yards and a touchdown reception. So that was, I mean, you almost couldn't walk away from your TV.
Yeah.
Except during halftime.
I mean, what Sean was saying earlier, it's not
Jake
how
Bobo,
you do.
I didn't even know who that was when he got his touchdown. Like, Jake, who? I was like, Bobo. I was like, who's that? But yeah, no, I do agree with Sean.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I mean, if it hadn't been a game like this, people would have been disappointed. It's division rivals trying to go into the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a shootout. They're gonna be trying to. it initially it looked like the Rams weren't quite ready, but then they kicked it into a
They
different
just
gear and they
exactly.
just kept grinding and trying to get where they needed to be. But like Sean was saying, like it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, again, here's another situation. We've talked about this number of times. We've talked about fitting square pegs into round holes. Well,
Exactly.
he was a square peg at the Jets. He didn't do well there. That system didn't work for Sam Darnold. Minnesota, I he got the shaft in Minnesota. Let's just
He
all
did.
say
I
that.
agree, but I agree
Yeah.
with you, Ben.
Um,
I agree.
yeah. And
I mean,
it's
good for my division, but I agree.
yeah. They decided they wanted to bring their rookie that they're paying millions of dollars in, and then before he was ready to come in, so he got the shaft, and he went to the Seahawks, and he showed that in the Seahawks system he can do well,
Yep.
and that's what you need. You sometimes just need to find that system. So
Yep.
I they've never been this deep. They haven't had 3 before, but I think there were a couple divisions that, like last year's the AFC West, that 3 of us made it in. Like, I sometimes the league is sleeping on some of this stuff. So that's with Sean's. The NFC West, I think is well outside the Cardinals.
I
It's
was just getting ready to
deeper
say.
than what people think they are.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I don't think anyone's going to be sleeping on them going forward anymore.
Matter of fact,
So,
if the AFC decided to trade, well, no, I take that back. Never mind. I'm going to shut up about that. Well, but I didn't mean to cut you off, Tina. You had anything else to add? You wanted to add on
no,
top of that?
no.
Okay. All righty then. Well, we are going to move on. We're going to take another really quick break. We're going to come back. So we know that the stage is set for Super Bowl 6-0 Seahawks taking on the Patriots. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Do not go far. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the promo there for the Roundtable Movie Group. Our good buddy Nick, I Want to Smoke Rosario, could not make it this evening. Had a work obligation. He could not make it with us this evening. The 4 of us also have a movie podcast that we get together and do sometimes during the football off season. Lots of good stuff, not just limited to the 80s like the show that Nick and I do, although we may just consolidate that all into one big thing and we'll all just be one big happy roundtable movie family. The previous promo was for the oh my god, did y'all catch that? I started doing that as well. I got this thing. I just start making noises when I get stuck. I think I really think I need to see a doctor about that before somebody refers me to HR. Anyway, also for the Mile High Minute, also starring our lovely co-host here, Miss Tina Winter, and the rest of the Mile High gang. Um, so, having said all of that, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about the AFC playoffs, the NFC Championship, the AFC Championship. This is awards week. You know, this is the time between now and the big game when they start going, who were the best of the best? And they give out all of the kudos. So we're going to jump into those and kind of give our thoughts on who we think are going to walk away with some of these awards. We're going to get started, first of all, with the Defensive Player of the Year candidates. This year's candidates are Myles Garrett, Will Anderson, Nick Benito, Aiden Hutchinson, and Micah Parsons. Going first of all, we're going to shoot 2. We're going to come back to you, Tina.
Okay, sorry. Mom called me. I had to get her off. I mean, my heart of hearts, I want to say Nick Benito. Because, like, a lot of people don't realize that the Broncos did have the most sacks out of any team in the NFL, and they were only like 2 sacks off from breaking the record, 2 or 3, I think it is. But I think it's going to go to Will Anderson, just because he made such a difference to that Texans team, even though they didn't look real good in their playoff game. I think it'll go to him. It could go to Myles Garrett or to Micah, but Will would be who I would give it to. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, and the other 2 weren't even in the playoffs. So that's my thought. Delilah, who would you pick?
I think it's gonna go to Myles Garrett because of him breaking that record.
Yeah.
The single season sack record. And I know, like, we always look at playoffs, but I know they normally look at the full season too, not just like the fact that the team, because we've seen it happen before, and so that's why I think it'll go to Myles Garrett. I think if he hadn't broken that record, I agree with you. I think it would have gone because, that Texas defense is what helped them along. My God, for sure. But I believe just on that, I think that's why it'll go to Myles Garrett. Plus, he is the Cleveland defense. I know he's got cornerbacks, but like I'm just saying, he's the leader. You know what I mean? Like captain of the defense or whatever they're called. You know what I mean? He's just But anyway, that's why
you're probably right. It's something that I bring up. Strength of schedule.
Yeah.
Who are they playing? Who's in their division that he's able to break that record? I mean, I'm not taking away from what he did. I'm just saying I'd put an asterisk next to it. That's all I'm saying. Because strength of schedule means a lot when you're talking about that stuff. And no, Sean, I was not going to say Pat Surtain. Because if you're talking about the Broncos, if you're going to put somebody from the Broncos defense on this list, it needs to be Nick Benito. He was a big part of that thing, and he leads our team in sacks. So the thing is he was going really, really quick, and then it started falling off towards the end. When more teams are seeing tape, more teams are seeing what's going on, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So, no, I do love myself some Pat Surtain. No, not this year.
We couldn't tell. Oh man.
Who would you pick?
Myles Garrett. This is my why.
He's going to get it because of the record.
This is my
100% correct.
This is my why. He broke the record, and then a lot of times I don't want to call it recency bias, but even if there's no like recency bias, if you have any reason to have, if there's any reason that a player's name has been prominent in the league for any reason, for any reason during the season, and he had that whole controversy with his contract before the season started, XYZ, and it was a whole big deal, blah, blah, blah. Then he comes back, then he signs the contract, comes back, breaks the record. So you kind of throw all of that in a pot, and you kind of get this is the guy. This is the guy.
Man, listen, I said it before. At least he's earning that money that they gave him, okay? Because some of these guys, we've seen it, right? We see them, they get the bag, and then they kind of peter out, and you're like, what the heck? At least he lived up to his pay.
Well, he just signed a big contract. Next year is the year he gets the nagging lingering injury. Not this year, not the first year of the big contract.
Unless it's his coach, right? If the defensive coordinator ends up being the head coach, I think he'll be fine.
Well, we shall see. We shall see indeed. Keeping this thing moving on along, God, we have so much fun on this show, can you tell? We're going to move on to the offensive player of the year candidates, in which we have Drake May, Puka Nacua, Bijan Robinson. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing a name here, but Christian McCaffrey. And Christian McCaffrey's name has an asterisk because, if I'm not mistaken, he is also in the running for the MVP of the league as well. So, you know what? I'll go ahead and start this one off. Let me pull this thing back up. Now my home team bias wants me to say Bijan Robinson. The guy's an absolute monster. He's definitely been part of the heart and soul of the Falcons offense, but he's been a monster. But I mean, you're also in a category where you've got a Puka Nacua who has been a consistent stalwart in Los Angeles. You got Christian McCaffrey, who is the hero who refuses to die out in San Francisco, and then you got Drake May, who's had one of the most amazing seasons as a quarterback in the league this season. So for me, I'm kind of up in the air between Puka and Christian McCaffrey. I know McCaffrey's a little bit older, a little longer in the tooth, but for him to still be performing at that high a level after injury after injury after injury after injury, that also speaks a lot too. So that's where I'm lying. Don't ask me to pick one because I'm not a voter, so I don't have to do it. Meh. All right, it's your turn, Delilah.
I wanted to go to Drake May.
It's going to be Drake May. Let's just be honest about this. It's going to be Drake May.
I feel like we know that 99.9% of the time it goes to a quarterback. And so because of that, now I know it has gone, I know there have been ties, I know it's happened before, but predominantly quarterbacks are the ones that get this award. And because of that, it's going to be Drake May.
And it's also because most of the people that has the largest voting block is the East Coast reporters. So it's going to be Drake May. Unless they decide to throw their votes in for him for MVP versus OP, Offensive Player of the Year. But it's going to be Drake May. He could even win both categories.
I feel like they're going to split that with the other quarterback, even though he lost his playoff game again.
Yeah. So, I mean, the rest of them, the West Coast, wow, Tina, laugh out loud. I'm being honest here. Come on. This is what happened during the Brady years. Yeah. Good quarterback at the Patriots. He's the only East Coast team there is, and everybody voted for him. I will go to my grave on this issue. The East Coast versus West Coast bias is there.
I just got to look in the comment section. I'm gonna let that dialogue slowly pass
I don't care, Sean. Come at me with it. I will defend it to the day I die.
Oh Lord. I'm gonna leave that alone. I just saw the comment button light up. I'm afraid to hit it. MVP candidates. The NFL MVP. I'll look at that in a little bit when it's safe to look. The MVP candidates are Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May. Oh, all right then. Drake May also nominated in 2 categories.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Drake May, Matthew Stafford, and Christian McCaffrey. Delilah. You know what? I'm gonna ping pong this back to you, Tina. Why not? Let's just pour a little more gas on that fire we started. Who you got?
I mean, this comes down to the question: is it Super Bowls or is it what you did? If it's going based on what they did, I would say Josh or Trevor Lawrence should be in there, or even Christian McCaffrey. But we know
they're in there.
Left on that. That's going to be heading in a playoff game. Drake May. So I don't know how it's going to split with OP. It's just I personally think Josh Allen should be the MVP. for what he did with his team when they started losing and they came back and they still made the wild card and what they were doing, I think it should be Josh Allen, but I don't think he's going to get it because there's going to be people on within his own East Coast reporting. They're going to say, well, you lost to the Broncos, so no, you're not MVP.
Do you think if he wins it, he cries like he did at the press conference?
I'm not going to get, I'm not going into that because I actually found it kind of touching that he
I'm I,
felt that much about what happened. So,
I'm just it's just kind of it's almost like the Sally Lord
okay,
Sally
I'm
Fields. You
going
like
to
me? You really
address,
like me?
I'm not downplaying what Drake May did. He has the numbers, he won the games. What I'm saying is that a lot of times with reporters, it's more about that when there are other candidates that had just as many numbers, but aren't going to be playing in the Super Bowl. So it's the conversation we've had back and forth all the
Yeah.
time on these issues is it how many rings you have or is it how good were you?
Yeah,
Hey,
I think those two top prizes. I think it'll go to a quarterback. Like I think offensive player of the
Yeah.
year and MVP, both of those, and I think it'll be split between Josh Allen and Drake May. Like it could go either way, but that's how you know what I'm saying. I feel like Josh Allen is going to be back to back
Or,
MVPs. I
well,
feel like
based on what
I
I
mean
said earlier, if Drake May and Josh Allen split the East Coast on MVP, then one of the other candidates could slip in.
yeah. So I don't know. It'll be. I mean, it'll be cool if it was Trevor Lawrence because I'd like to see something like that happen. I'm just saying, like, let me. I was impressed with the Jaguars. I feel like they got
Yeah.
crapped on a lot, and they played some really good football, and they had a really good shot at the playoffs, and so it would be so cool to see Trevor Lawrence win a prize like that. I just don't see it happening, and so I feel like they want to give Drake me a prize, but I don't know if they want to give it to him more than Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those weird things. And so it could be that he ends up with Offensive Player of the Year and Josh Allen becomes back-to-back MVPs, which we've seen it before. It's not the first time we've seen quarterbacks win back-to-back MVP. Like Lamar's done it, Aaron Rodgers done it, so it's not unheard of. So
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
possible that's
but
how it
I
winds
mean,
up.
Tina does raise a very valid point when you're talking about a group of voters outside
Yeah.
of the league itself. It's very Janet Jackson, 1986. What have you done for me lately? So I still can't do it. I still look stupid doing it. Janet, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal your dance move. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about OPOY. We talked about DPOY. We talked about MVP, but that is not what you came to see. You came to see us because we're beautiful, we're attractive, and we're more sexy than any podcast host you've ever seen on any other show. Just ask, well, except when Ocho's on here, then we have to put him in the back so he's not showing on the screen. But what you come to talk about is the big game, the one that's coming up, number 60, the Super Bowl, the one for all the marbles and a really funky looking trophy. It's not really funky. I got all kinds of stuff going on in my head right now. Super Bowl 60, Seahawks versus the Patriots. This is the one for all the marbles. You got Sam Darnold and an upstart Seattle team against an up and coming Drake May. No, my first name ain't Drake. It's no, doggone it, I messed it up. No, my first name ain't baby. It's Drake May. If you're nasty, the Patriots. This whole place takes place, and the whole thing takes place. This whole thing takes place in San Francisco at Levi Stadium. Somebody, please give me a Ritalin. Yeah, it promises to be. Actually, this is a showdown of 49. This is a repeat of 49, is it not?
Mhm.
Yes.
That's why
11
we're
years
saying
ago.
Katy Perry should come out and do the halftime show.
What's that?
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
saying
yeah.
the joke is to bring Katy Perry back.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
11 years ago, that was the Seahawks and Patriots.
Yeah, it was fun to see because Twitter had not quite taken off. Twitter had not quite taken off yet, but to see all the tweets saying I have no from the young millennials who were much younger than saying I have no idea who this Missy Elliott person is, but Katy Perry definitely did her a solid bringing her on. I say what? Because people had no idea who Missy Elliott was still hot at the time. I'm like, oh my god, don't make me feel old about something that I was already old when it
No.
came out with. So
At
Andy,
that point, everybody should have known who Missy was. That was
The only people who
crazy.
didn't know who Missy was people who didn't follow that kind of music.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So yes, NFC West versus AFC East. Who do we got in this one? I'm gonna go first. It's hard for me after watching the offense that the little bit of odd. Yes, I know it was in the middle of a driving snow, but the little bit of offense that that New England was able to bring to the table. I mean, even with the lack of a passing game, they weren't doing a lot on the ground except for Ramondre Stevenson. So if they can't bring that kind of offense in a couple of weeks, it's going to be very hard for me to say that the advantage is to New England. I am leaning 100%. It is hard for me right now to lean against a team with a healthy Sam Darnold and a receiver like JSN and a running back like KW3. I'm all in on Seattle on this one. Delilah.
Yeah, no, I actually agree. And Nico, thank you for chiming in. Yeah, that's right. Shahid Rashid.
Oh wait, did she pop? Did she pop up? Yep.
Yep.
Oh, there she is.
It's the other way around, but I gotcha. Rashid Shahid, it's the other way around, but I gotcha, girl. I gotcha. Rashid Shahid.
Shahid
But no,
Rashid Shahid.
yeah. It's flipped. It's Rashid. But anyway, listen, it's gonna be that rematch from 11 years ago, and this time the Seahawks got it. It's their defense. I think that they're gonna go in with a really great plan. Again, I know Patriots have a good defense, but that Seattle defense is ridiculous, ridiculous. So it's not just the
Wait a minute,
offense,
Delilah.
which
Hold on. How's their defense again?
no, it's crazy. I'm sorry. So I think that they're gonna have a game plan for all of Patriots key players. They're gonna do what they gotta do, right? Pressuring the quarterback, right? They're gonna pressure Drake. I wouldn't be surprised if they get some interceptions, some sacks. They just have a solid just game plan to me. They're just going in at all cylinders, and so because of that, I think the rematch is gonna go to the Seahawks this time around.
All righty. Well, Tina.
I'm gonna make
Is
it
Tina
3 for
frozen?
3.
Oh, she's
No,
thinking.
as somebody said on the internet today, like, why would you root for the Seahawks? You'd want to lose to the people who actually win the Super Bowl. It's like, yeah, but no, I I mean, I didn't say it in the or I don't think I said it. If that snowstorm hadn't happened, I think the game would have had a different outcome because we were already getting to Drake in the first quarter of the game and through the first half. So it's the defenses, and like what Delilah said, their defense is very, very good. I'm not taking away anything from their defense. I think their offense is a little younger. And the guys on the Seahawks have had more time to play with each other. Yes,
Yeah.
this is the first year Sam Darnold is there, but those players have been playing with each other and it
Yeah.
seems to be working. But it's like what Handy said. I mean, if the Patriots can control Stevens, then that may be a different game. Or if they can control Drake from being to run himself, because that's where a lot of their yardage came from too, is Drake picked up a good 20, 30
Yeah.
yards in the second half. So, um, but I mean, it's the Super Bowl. We've seen stranger things, like a
True.
football on a helmet. We've seen like how the forward pass came about. Like we have seen stranger things in these kinds of games. But
I agree.
I think the experience of the Seahawks is going to be a big factor in this game.
Yeah.
Drake is amazing, but let's remember he's a second year guy. So you're gonna and I'm not saying it because they beat us. I'm saying I said it from the beginning. If the Seahawks made it into the Super Bowl, they were gonna win because it's been a juggernaut. They
It has
just
been
yeah
just
they've
crazy. Just demolished everybody.
yeah like they put something special in their Wheaties that they serve to the team this year because like it's been crazy. It's been just craziness, but hey, go for it. So that's my thought. So yeah, 3 for 3.
Don't ask me why I thought you said we're going to say they put something special in their weed. I was like, aren't they not supposed to do that during the?
No, that's Denver.
Okay, that's a different thing altogether. So we are all on one accord in that Seattle is our favorite going into this game. You think?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Anybody any predictions for MVP for this game?
Well, if they
I
win,
think
Sam Darnold.
yeah. It's
If
going to
they
be the
win.
quarterback. Whoever
Yeah.
wins, it's going to be the quarterback. So it's either going to be Drake May or it's going to be Sam Darnold. So did I, Nick, but I can't control the weather. Oh, did you hear now? I don't know if anybody saw this, but they're now bringing back up the idea of having the championship games played in a neutral site like the Super Bowl. They're going to bring it up for a vote again. So
That's a
weather
good
doesn't
idea.
affect the game. Because I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody has seen still shots, you can see like it's 4 different quarters. But I mean, it happened with you guys in Chicago too, with your guys'
Yeah, it
snow.
did.
Like,
I mean, that
like,
game was like 20. We kept the Rams to 20, so that's
yeah.
basically
But football is never mind. I'm gonna
love
leave
it.
that
I'm
alone.
not
No,
in
I
agreement
know.
with the idea.
No,
I'm
I'm
just
not. I'm not.
saying
I'm not. I'm not.
No,
I'm not saying anything
I.
negative
It's not.
against you. I'm just.
It's not about the snow. I actually just like the idea of a neutral site. To be honest, it's
but
not even
see,
about the
I think
weather.
if you get the number 1 seed, you should have an advantage. You worked your ass off for that. There
Yeah.
should be some kind of advantage other than the bye. So, I personally don't like how the seeding works, but that's an argument. I don't think like 2 shouldn't get 6. It should be jumbled. And like, you know what I mean? Because there's like 7 teams, so 2 get 7 with the idea because they're the wild card, they have to be the second best team. No, I think it should be more jumbled, but that's just me. It's and it the NFL's not going to change their mind because that's what they did in order to bring a 7th team in to the playoffs. So they set
Well,
it up that way.
they wanted to change it to it not even being about divisions anymore, but I understand why you wouldn't want to do that, but they wanted to have best records. That was an
I
idea they floated around.
mean, I see some pros to that because that means like teams like the Panthers
Would have made it.
one and done. But the one and that might have been us last year too because we
Exactly.
slid in at the last minute on
Yeah.
we didn't win the division but we slid in on a wild card. So I get it, but the con is that because we've seen wild card teams get hot at the right time and just scoot all the
Exactly.
way in. So
Right.
I mean,
York Giants, David Tyree helmet catch.
yep,
That is all.
that is the year. Yeah.
And
So I mean,
who did the New York Giants defeat in the as a wild card team to advance in the playoffs and continue the misery of a fan base that has known misery for the last 60 years this coming fall? Damn it.
All right.
Okay, sorry, and we're back.
Okay.
Okay, moving forward, that's gonna do it pretty much for our our wrap up on the big game that is coming up on it's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Sunday, February 8th. Wait a minute, hold on. I got to do it the right way. I forgot I have effects. Sunday, February 8th, Levi Stadium, San Francisco, California. That's what's going to be going on for Super Bowl 60. But we got one last thought we want to drop on you, ladies and gentlemen. You know that in addition to the ads and the halftime show and the pageantry and the conspiracy theory about the colors of the poster that they put out and all of that good stuff, we one of the main reasons that people have Super Bowl parties is for the food and the snacks, and that is the question that I pose to you, ladies, today. What we've done this before, but we're gonna do it again, doggone it, because we like to eat, says the guy who consumed a 7-inch barbecue sandwich that contained hot links, brisket, pulled pork, pulled chicken, and rib meat with pickles and slaw and cheese with a side of slaw and what did I say, 8-piece wing from the barbecue wing place. So food is an integral element of football. There was no game on tonight, but we were talking football. So I ate like we were watching the football game. Ladies, what is your favorite Super Bowl snack? What's going to be your go-to this year? Tina.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Mine is always the dips.
I just said, ladies, this is shout it out
to taco to buffalo. Like I have a buffalo chicken dip that I do. Like it's the dips to me, like the extras and like all of that. So that's my favorite.
Just the dips. You just walk around with
the dips with chips or with celery or whatever. Like for me, it's always about what you're dipping it into. Like I like that stuff. So that's always the way it's been for me. Because I mean, usually at most Super Bowl parties that I've been at, it's burgers or fries or something, and it's nothing really like.
It's heavy stuff that makes you want to sit down and not eat anymore. Yeah,
I mean, we're in the Midwest here. It's in February when the football is. It's not as if everybody's outside grilling.
Like, I don't know. Hey, you talking about if I had me some meat, I'd have been out grilling this weekend.
Yeah, well, we can't do that stuff because I mean, well, you can. You just might not.
You can. I've seen it.
Ice hanging off your nose, but
I've seen some crazy Midwesterners, and so have you. Go out there and grill, whatever weather it is.
Yeah, like. Oh, you know what, Nathan? The new one I've gotten into, I forget what it's called, but it's the spicy sweet nachos. Oh, it tastes like you're eating like Thai food. It's so good.
Yeah. I got something for you right here, Nate. You know what that is? It's a chicken wing. Nate does not like wings. It's a chicken wing.
Are we going back to that?
Nate does not like chicken wings.
Well, now his comment about the chicken strips makes sense.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. I'm like the strip come from the white meat of the chicken, and wings is white meat. So you're eating white
but it's
meat.
got a bone in it, so it tends to make the meat more flavorful and more tender. But there's that whole argument too. Like, are boneless wings? No, not really in my mind. But
boneless wings are chicken nuggets. Thank you.
Yep, they are.
End of discussion. That's a five word. I had to count it. It's a 5-word dissertation. Y'all saw me count. I tried to hold my hand out of.
Wings or nuggets.
Boneless wings are chicken nuggets. That's 5 words. That's my 5-word. Hey, listen, that's gonna be my doctoral thesis.
And just have it before. Boneless wings are nuggets.
I love when people get like a full like chicken leg and they realize, I'm like, what did you think that was? Like, what did you think the drumstick was?
They're like,
you know,
it's like this. That's thigh. That's the thigh.
When you
get KFC and you get that weird little paste that's got the bones on the side, and you're like, it's dark when you open it up, and people go, "What the hell is this? Is this chicken?" And it's like, yes, that's the thigh. That's the best part of the chicken.
The whole
Sorry.
chicken
Did I
legs.
have a,
Only a few.
did I get
Only
up
a
on a
few
soapbox
places.
on that one?
Only a few places do whole chicken legs, and I was like, how did you think those are made?
Or
Like,
when they order a quarter chicken, like you're getting a quarter of or half the chicken, you're getting a quarter of it. You're gonna get the thigh, you're gonna get the leg, and you might get a wing with breast. Like, so yeah. Yeah. All right.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh man. So let me see. Me.
Notice we're not even touching pizza because that'll start a whole nother war.
I mean, well, okay. So what? So
What?
give me the pros and cons of having pizza then.
See,
what?
I wasn't raised in Chicago, so for me, I really don't like deep dish pizza. I am,
We
and
don't
I know the
either.
new name for it is tavern style. That
Does that
I like
mean
thin
you?
crust.
Yeah.
So, and that's a whole thing. Like, yeah, I I have been to Super Bowl parties where somebody's like, "Oh, I'm going to order pizza," and all they order is deep dish. They don't order anything else. It's like one piece, and you're not eating for the rest of the night.
Nah, that's like a pie. That's like pie. That's like eating.
Yeah,
That's like
No.
eating it. That's like eating some of grandma's sweet potato pie. It's just gonna
This.
sit.
No. This is. Let me. You know what? Y'all are. Let me set you straight.
you're not
Right
going to
now.
let me straight on deep dish.
No,
see it.
that's not Chicago pizza. This is, okay? This is Chicago pizza, especially when it comes in the little bag and it's greasy. That's Chicago pizza.
Tavern
Don't
style.
let,
It's what they're calling tavern
okay.
style now.
So
Yeah.
that is for years and years. You go to any neighborhood joint in the city. Okay, you know why it was tavern style? Because we're a bunch of drunks in this town.
Because it was
Okay?
served in taverns.
Okay, and so they were like, you know what? Because people want to drink their beer and they also want to eat. And they literally cut it to little squares for the drunks because that's what we do here. That's our pizza, and it's good as hell. But anyway,
And they learned that lesson. They learned how to do that from going to New York and watching people eat the arm length slices that are flimsy.
yeah, no, we don't do that here.
Smacking themselves in the face with them.
We don't do that
Oh
here.
my God, they're so
The
good
photo
though.
pizza, yeah, we don't do that here.
That is what you call it?
I mean, you can go to. You can go to restaurants. There are New York style pizzerias, but I'm saying like straight up Chicago neighborhood pizza joints. That's what they look at. They're little squares. It's thin crust and it's good as hell.
Mhm.
That's Chicago pizza.
It's thin, but it's thick. It's a thin crust pizza, but it's a thicker crust than what it's got some give to it and all of it. But that's the thing. Like
Anyway.
everybody goes downtown and they just go and they have deep dish pizza and they're like, oh, well, that's what everybody says is Chicago's known for. Yeah, if you never leave the downtown area, no, you don't get it. But yeah, I like thin crust pizzas. So for me, that's what
I will
love.
show y'all. Tina and I
Yep.
will show you guys what pizza they eat when you guys ever
Oh.
come down here.
And we haven't even gotten into the Lou Malnati's versus Giordano's versus the local places that every neighborhood has.
Oh yeah, every neighborhood. I see. We're talking about neighborhood places now, and it's a thing. I go into this Italian. The Italian starts coming out, and I'm not even nowhere near Paisano, But yeah, every neighborhood has a place that they swear, oh man, this place has the best such and such. Like everything, there's a place here that's is in the
Listen,
thick, in the
if
thick.
it's not dangerous, is the food even good?
Right. Like if they haven't failed at least 2 health inspections and they're in a dangerous neighborhood, is a food good. There's a Prince Hall place, a Prince Hall grocery store downtown here in Oklahoma City. It's in a neighborhood where you gotta kind of sort of know somebody or look like you have some business down there. And I know that they failed at least 1 health inspection last year, at least one, because somebody posted it on Facebook. But I swear to God, they got the best pork chops. I can't shut the Italian thing off. So if you hear it, I'm sorry. They have the best. They have the best pork chops. I'm thick, thin, fried chicken. You want it? They got it. It's insane. It's insane. I still haven't talked about my spread for
No,
whatchamacallit.
because we diverted. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I,
ahead.
I hijacked the conversation with pizza.
It's
No,
fine.
it's
It's
good.
all right. We can talk about pizza all day. I sit down and eat a whole. You sent me right
But
back
yeah,
to
we
the.
don't. I'm just saying we don't order deep dish in my household.
Yeah, like if
It's thin crust.
somebody
We don't.
tells you you got to go get the deep dish at such and such, that's the tourist gimmick is the deep dish in the downtown at Giordano's or not Giordano's. Yeah, Giordano's or what's the other one that's
Geno's
downtown?
East,
Yeah,
Geno's
Gino's
East,
East and that
Pizzeria
kind of
Uno,
stuff. Like
Illuminati's, blah blah
no,
blah.
it's if you go local, it's the cracker crust tavern style stuff. All
Yeah,
right.
that was the thing when the Chicago when these supposedly Chicago deep dish kind of spread across the nation for a minute, and there was this place I think it was called Uno's
Oh, Pizzeria
Chicago's
Uno.
Pizzeria
Yes.
Uno.
Yep.
Uno's
Mm-hmm.
Pizzeria, and I
Yeah.
was like, so this is what the big deal is about, huh? You give me a pizza on top of a tomato sauce pie.
I mean, it's a casserole and it's a whole history to it, though. But
Yeah, the history is they used to serve it for lunch and people that work downtown could like if you were working in the construction sites or you're working
yeah,
in the mills or things like that,
yeah, you would have
you
a
could
full
go
bloom
and get
meal.
one
Yeah.
piece of pie and it would
Yeah.
last you for all day. You would be full all day. And there are places
It's a
that
whole
do it.
history to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a lot. It's too much for me.
Yeah,
Um, you're
I mean,
literally now, if you want, for all of you that are listening, and if you do want good deep dish, go to Pequot's.
I
I
agree.
think they have
I've
some of the
heard you
best
mention that
deep
before.
I
deep.
agree 100. I
If
agree
you
a
want
thousand
the deep
percent.
dish, you want the good stuff, not the trendy touristy crap downtown.
I
Go
agree
to
100%.
Pequot's. Other than that, I'm not gonna. Uh, it's
It's
just
also
not
a
the
Black
same.
Hawks bar, so it's kind of nice. But anyway,
Yeah. Pequod's has really good food and really good beer, and it has a good atmosphere, even though it is kind of in the middle of Lakeview, which is not a poor neighborhood in any way, shape, or form. But the
they were
food
there
is
first.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were there
Yep.
before it got trendy.
Yep.
Nicole
They were
said,
there before it
Nicole said,
blew up
I
with
will
the
go
half
wherever you
million to
take
$1
me.
million condos along the streets
Thank you,
and stuff.
Nicole. And then when I see you up in like the western part of Canada, then you could take me to places.
Yeah, oh wow, I'm still sitting
Go
here.
ahead, your spread. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Let's go.
Give me some of those. Give me some for me. These wings that I have behind me, they're from a Korean barbecue place called BB.Q Chicken. Most people don't pronounce the dot. I have to just so people know when you look it up. That's how you find it. Don't look up plain old BBQ. The BB.Q Chicken, absolutely delicious. I want some of those.
Mhm.
Well, hell, I could just have a whole platter of those if I'm being honest, and not really need anything else. Now, I do have to offset my deep fried greasy food with the obligatory half a plate of 5 celery sticks and a couple of carrot sticks with some dip, um, probably some chips. You know what? The older I get, the less I need from my chips. I'm perfectly okay with a plain bag of as long as they're like the ridged Ruffles chips. I'm good. I hate to after we've talked about pizza and flimsy versus this and that to just go, yeah, give me some wings and some potato chips and some celery sticks.
With the
That
dip, you need
with
the
the
ridges. You need a good chip with that, not
that which is why I said specifically Ruffles because I've tried a lot of I've lived in multiple different places and tried all the local chain equivalent knockoffs and they just don't hold. If you get a good thick enough dip and it breaks the chip, I don't want to have to fish my chip out of the dip. I mean, I'll get a spoon. There's no shame in my game. It's just that canister just became my dip because now that's mine. So, there's no shame in that game. And of course, not that we have a sponsorship or anything, but gotta have me some of the red can to wash it down with. And that's it. I mean, or we could just do a whole Korean style buffet at the crib.
Okay.
As I'm
Delilah,
talking about.
you?
Yeah, I'm actually like you, Tina. I really like a lot of the dips, but also like the pull apart
Mm-hmm.
foods, like the pull apart
Oh,
breads, like the
mozzarella and the
focaccias and the
bread, and
cheese
yeah.
and the. So I like any like pull apart bread that I could dip as well, like not just like the dips themselves. Like I'm always a fan, and then of course sliders, but like not White Castle sliders, but like actual like little slider sandwiches, like those always hit the spot. And then now that there's a football game happening during a Bad Bunny concert, we're all like hyped up over here. So now we're like ready to do a whole like Puerto Rican celebration times three. It's like another Christmas for us. So everybody's ready. So we'll also have a lot of Puerto Rican food and snacks.
Send me pictures of the fungo. Please tell me
But we're
somebody's making
ready.
the fungo.
So, oh man, it's a long prep, but yeah. But
I
that
know.
we're also getting ready. Like we see this as like a third Christmas. So I'm actually really excited because a lot of Latinos, especially a lot of Puerto Ricans, are like, "All right, it's third Christmas. Let's get our spread out." So this year there's gonna be a lot of like Puerto Rican foods and snacks too.
You're gonna be pulling out the coquito.
Oh yeah, I could drink that all year. So I'm excited because that's what we're calling it. A lot of us like, oh, there's a football game, then Bad Bunny concert.
Well, I think that might be it for me. Like, there's two concerts involved with a football game kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Because
The only thing that would make that more perfect for you would be if the Broncos were playing in the Super Bowl.
yeah, well, of course
Yeah,
it
of
would.
course. Yeah.
However, I will say, if we had made it to the Super Bowl, I really wanted the Rams to win because I did not want a repeat of the last time we played the Seahawks. It was not good for us in any way, shape, or form. I've never seen so many white Bronco memes in my life. If you, like, it was bad. We lost in the first 5 minutes of the game. So, gotta love that. I was not looking forward to playing the Seahawks again. So, that's just me.
Oh man. Delilah, I am looking at the I'm scrolling through the Facebook feed over here on this screen, and right now you're doing the whole talking about the Bad Bunny and it's Christmas and the Mofongo. So I'm on a time lapse over here to my right. Oh man.
Oh, what? That was like
No, it's yeah, the
I
face,
thirty
the
think
face,
seconds
if you're
ago.
not
the
like
face.
us, we're on time. But if you have the feed separately,
Oh, okay.
there's a delay.
That was like 45 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's on a delay right there. So in another 45 seconds, I'll be able to look over and see me looking at that and talking to you, and then you on the screen going, "What are you talking about?" I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think if I think we have just about covered everything there is to cover about the Super Bowl, except for his favorite Super Bowl ads, but they haven't aired yet. So I guess we'll talk about that the next time you see us, whenever that may be. So
We
After the
should
Super
discuss
Bowl.
the ones in the game and also say which one is our favorite overall through the years.
Yes.
yeah, wow.
Yeah, that'd
You
be
know
fun.
what though? That I'm just gonna go ahead and say that as a preface to when we do. Are we gonna talk about that now? Or we're gonna do that on the next show.
No, next
Super Bowl.
Okay.
after when we do our Super Bowl show.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, overall, it's been hard for me to really find a favorite Super Bowl commercial here lately because it's almost as though the advertisers have just realized we don't even have to make them entertaining anymore. We're spending a bunch of money. We're just going to throw an ad out there. Budweiser is definitely still trying, but I miss the Doritos ads. Doritos, I hope you got some good ads for us this year. Bud Light, somebody bring back the entertaining Super Bowl commercials. We miss those. Please.
I
Thank you.
I agree.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been quite the show this evening. It has been quite the show this evening. We do want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in this evening, and we'd like to thank all of our fellow folks from the conglomerate of the Let's Talk Football family that tuned in. Those of you that are
Yeah,
first
thank
time
you.
watching, if you're watching right now, If you're watching us right now live, if you're watching us right now on the repeat, either way, we thank you for watching. But we have got to get out of here because we are grown-up adults that don't get paid ungodly amounts of money to yell and have bad hairlines on TV. Did I say Stephen A. Smith out loud? I did,
Right?
didn't I? Huh? What?
I
Yeah.
can't pick right and be wrong all the time.
Osega my five. What? I'm sorry. I don't even know what fraternity I'm in. My bad. I did it again. Somebody please say goodnight so we can get out of here before I get in any
Good
more trouble.
night.
Y'all have a
Bye,
good evening. We'll
guys.
see you next time. Take care.